What's going on, guys? Today we're talking business. I've gotten this question a couple of times, and so we're gonna dive in. And that topic is, how did we decide to move into an office? All right, so I'll show you guys the progression, and I'll help you understand why or how things moved. So it started off just me and another guy. We'd meet in the college coffee shop, in his dorm, in my apartment, and we just talked through ideas, right? And so I was working mostly in my apartment, and he was working wherever he was, okay? Okay, so things were going well. I hired someone, he was working remote from Michigan, hired someone else, he was working remote from Indianapolis, and I was working, again, in my apartment in like an hour north of Indianapolis. So eventually I decided, okay, let's really start trying to grow this team. We need actual employees if we're really going to build a company here. I think for a couple of reasons. One, because it's kind of what you're supposed to do or what is typical. Two, I had been working by myself for like a year and a half, and I was excited to get into a room and share ideas. So I'm someone that likes ideas, right? And I get pretty excited. So if I'm trying to talk to somebody about ideas, like sending them a message over email or over Slack, like doesn't really convey your excitement that much. Or talking to someone through the phone doesn't really convey like that excitement as much. You can't see if they're excited. You can't see their reaction to whatever you have to say, this suggestion, this idea, or whatever. And so a friend of mine, Darian, he's one of the first guys that we had brought on. Him and I started working once in a while, maybe once a week, at a co-working space called Launch Fishers. For those of you who don't know what a co-working space is, basically it's a big space. Think about like the office, and if there were just a few desks here, a few desks there, some whiteboards all around, and maybe some cool seating area, maybe a couple breakout offices like you'd see in this room here. And at one point, I think we had like 10 or so people, 12 people working at a Launch Fishers every single day. And Darian and I were the only ones with memberships, actually. So, but anyways, once we were about, I want to say 8 to 10 people, okay, we were taking up a couple of tables at that point, and we couldn't talk as loud as we wanted to. There just wasn't as much opportunity for collaboration. People started wanting monitors. So then we needed an office, like an actual office of our own. The reason we went with an office is because I personally love to share energy. I love to share ideas. And one thing that I still do is, so if I have a new idea or a new thought around how to do this or that or something around strategy, I honestly will go and ask the same question to about 5 to 10 different people, because I want to see their reactions. So I'll ask people individually because I want to see their reactions. I want to see how they respond, because there's a lot more than just what is vocally said. There's a lot in the body language that you can learn, and I love sharing that, and I love seeing that, and I love feeling that. And you can't get that outside of being in proximity with one another, sharing an office space together. So if you're building out a team, I highly suggest starting probably in a co-working space. So only as the last resort do I suggest getting actual office space, only because there's so much risk and uncertainty with a new business. Getting into a contract where you're saying, I'm gonna be paying $5,000 a month for the next 2 years, that's a lot of money that you're on the hook for, and if things don't go your way, then that's not good. If you are able to sublet the space, that will definitely help you in the event of some drastic circumstances. The focus through all of this is minimizing costs, minimizing overhead and headaches, so that you can focus on serving your customers, because that's what's going to allow you to make the money and to grow to a point where you're comfortable paying for that actual office space, or you're comfortable signing that actual lease. Thanks so much for checking out the video. If you liked it, please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. If you want to see the day-to-day, come check me out on my personal Instagram. Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it. And come check me out on personal.